Hello, welcome to my channel. In metrology and instrumentation, today we are going to discuss about digital measurement. Previously, whatever we have already discussed, we have already know that most of the materials or most of the measuring instruments, what we have already said earlier, most of them are analog type of measuring instrument. Okay, so now we will going to see how digital measurement is implemented on metrology and instrumentation, what are their aspects and why it is very important nowadays, and what are the different type of digital instruments we can use and how they are being manufactured, or you can say how they are being constructed, what is their operating principle. So before starting that, first we have to look a video. Okay, so please look at this video and you will understand why digital measurement is very much important rather than of analog measurement. Now we will see what is actually digital measurement is. Okay, so the digital measurement is nothing but it actually indicates the value of the measurand in the form of decimal number, whereas the analog instrument displays the quantity to be measured in terms of deflection of a pointer, that means analog displacement or an angle corresponding to the electrical quantity. Now these digital meters, they actually works on the principle of quantization. Okay, the analog quantity is to be measured, it first subdivided or quantized into a number of small intervals up to many decimal places. The objective of the digital instrument is then to determine in which portion of the subdivision the measurand can thus be identified as an integral multiple of the smallest unit called the quantum. Okay, which is actually chosen for the subdivision. Now this measuring procedure thus reduces to one of the counting of the number of quanta present in the measurand. Okay, now this type of digital instrument, they can be considered as a counter which counts the pulse in a predetermined time. Digital transducers whose output is in form of pulses, they are sometimes often used to monitor actually the desired parameter. Now for this type of digital instrument, accuracy of this is very dependent on the number of pulse generated by the transducer because of the fraction of the pulse which cannot be generated, and in counting there can be one pulse at a start or stop may happen. Okay, now when we are talking about the digital instrument, since you have already seen the video what I have mentioned earlier, or you have seen the video. But the basic difference between analog instrument and digital instrument is the analog. In case of analog instrument gives output that varies continuously as quantity to be measured is known for the analog instrument. But in case of digital instrument, it actually gives the output that varies in discrete steps and only has finite number of value, which is known as actually the digital instrument. Again, for the analog instrument, the accuracy is less, and this type of analog instrument requires more power, as well as since the accuracy of the analog instrument is less, that's why sensitivity sensitivity of the analog instrument is more. Okay, but in case of analog instrument, they are extremely portable. Okay, in case of digital instrument, it actually requires less power, but in case of digital instrument, the sensitivity is very less. Accuracy, since the digital instrument gives us less sensitivity is less for the digital instrument, that's why its accuracy is very high. And apart from the analog instrument, the digital instruments, they are comparatively more expensive than of analog instruments. But in case of digital instrument, they are not easily portable for all the time. Okay, you need more caution when you are using any kind of digital instrument. Just because when you are using a digital instrument, a slight damage may harm the total instrument at a time. Again, another important thing is you must calibrate the digital instrument every time you are working. So if you talk about the importance, or if you talk about the advantage of the digital measurement, you can see that it works on the principle of quantization, what I have already said. Then construction of the digital instrument is very complex. That since the construction is very complex, that's why the cost is very high than that of normal analog instrument. And since it is very high cost, then high accuracy is also desired, and it also gives us the high accuracy. And if you recall the parallax error, which may often each and every time when you are using the analog instrument, but in case of digital instrument, it is free from parallax error. Not only parallax error, there are different types of error which is very much important, which is very much affected by the, which actually affects the measurement system when we are using the analog system. But in case of digital system, it is actually free from different kind of error. Okay, so in case of if you say the what is the advantage of digital measurement, so you can see the digital systems are very easier to design. Basically the circuit which are employed, they have the switch circuit where exact value of voltage are not important, but the range is very much important. Then storage of information is also applicable, also available, and it is very easier to store the information if some special switching circuit or some special type of arrangement is done for the instrument. Okay, greater accuracy and precision, what I have already said earlier, is very much desirable for this type of digital system, and it can also handle as many as digit of precision as needed simply by adding more switch circuit. Okay, then programmable operations can be done. Digital circuits are less affected by noise, as you can say that exact value of the voltage is not important as long as the noise is not large. Okay, but apart from the advantage, there are some limitations also. What you must know that most physical quantities are among in nature, and these quantities are often the inputs and outputs. Quantities can make some impact on this input and output, which are being monitored, operated and controlled by a system. Then in between the analog and digital form of instrument, the information can be considered as a drawback because of additional complexity and expense. Okay, the next thing is the basic concept of a digital instrument. Now basically the digital instrument is very popular as they have a lot of advantage over analog instrument, such as like greater speed, increased accuracy, then better resolution. You will know what is resolution, that is one terminology. Then reduction in operating errors, then ability to provide automatic measurement. So there are different type of advantages available in case of the digital measuring instruments. Okay, so that's why it becomes more popular than that of analog type of instrument. So you can see same type of instrument or same type of measurement can be done for both analog and digital, and for better accuracy, for better precision, we always move towards the digital instrument. The major advantage of digital instrument is the readability of the measurement result, because the digital readout. Okay, so the second major advantage you can see that digital instrument over analog instrument is the accuracy, and since you can easily find out what is the actual value obtained in case of a digital measurement very easily through a LED or LCD monitor, so accuracy is very high, you can see. Okay, now in case of digital measuring instrument, they have some specific construction features. Okay, so number one is the transducer. Basically three instrument is actually modified inside a digital instrument, any kind of digital instrument. Okay, so in case of a digital instrument, you can see there is transducer, then there is the signal modifier, then there is the display device. There is some kind of display device. So each and every digital measuring instrument, you can find any kind of display unit. Okay, so first of all, we are going to see what is transducer. So transducer is nothing but a converting element. Okay, so basically transducer, it actually a device which converts variation in physical quantities such as pressure or brightness into an electrical signal or vice versa. And in case of a transducer, it is actually used to convert energy from one to another, typically when converting input energy into output energy. Okay, for transduction to occur, a change from one form of energy might also take place, such as a conversion from mechanical to electrical energy or vice versa. There are different type of transducer available, and we will discuss this transducer later on another video. The next thing what you need to know, that is the signal modifier. So in case of a signal modifier, it is used for modifying any kind of signal. Okay, so actually in case of some signal modifiers, there are basically this actually functions as an element which enables an input signal to be displayed on a display meter. Okay, so in case of that, if there is a very weak strength of input signal is available, it also modified it to the high strength of input signal, and it actually displays on the display device, which is the third part of any kind of digital instrument. So in case of a display device, it can be LED or LCD, which is used as a digital display, and it shows the digital quantity or digital parameter which we have measured by using the digital instrument. The display device is used for showing the measured quantities in basically numerical form, and for many kind of instrument, you can go to any decimal format as required or as programmable inside the instrument. Okay, so that display device is a very important part which actually gives us the final result. So you can see in the figure that the digital quantity is being measured by the instrument, and the value or the sensing goes to the transducer. Then the signal modifier changes the signal and modify the signal to the digital display unit, which shows us the final result. Okay, now we are going to discuss about some basic terminologies which is very much important to the digital measurement. In case of a digital measuring instrument, or in case of any kind of digital measurement, the first thing what you need to know, that is the drift. Drift is a basically undesired gradual departure of the instrument output over a period of time that is unrelated to change in input operating conditions or load. So that means a slow change of the response for a certain different type of gauge, and basically it is not desired on there is some kind of gradual decrement of the instrumental output. Okay, now this drift is this drift is basically the change in output, but in case of drift the input doesn't change all the time. Okay, now any kind of instrument having no drift happen if it reproduce the same reading at different times for the same variation is in measurement variable. Okay, so if there is no change in output for different variation of a measured variable, then you can say there is no drift. Now a drift may happen due to different type of factors available. Now the number one factor, you can say that high mechanical stress which actually develops in some parts of instrument and system, they may happen or they may cause the drift. It is a very important thing and it is a very useful thing for cause of the drift, that the high mechanical stress which is actually developed in the parts of the instrument. Then for wear and tear, this drift may happen, change may occur. Then mechanical vibration may also change the instrumental output, and which cause the drift. Then temperature change can also produce drift. Stray electric and magnetic fields also create some kind of drift along with the thermal EMF. Okay, so if I say example, you can tell that this type of drift occurs in resistance thermometer and thermocouples due to the contamination of the metal and a change in its atomic or metallurgical structure. Then you can say that drift may occur in flow meters due to wear and erosion of the orifice plate, nozzle or venturimeter. So these are two basic example of how drift occurs. Okay. Now in case of classification of drift, there are basically three type of drift is available. Number one is zero drift, what I have already mentioned earlier, that zero drift is that type of drift if the whole instrument calibration gradually shifts over by the same amount. That means if the whole calibration is shifted by the same amount due to any kind of slippage or any kind of undue warming, this zero drift may occur. Okay, now the input output characteristics with zero drift you can see in the figure over here. Okay, the next one is the span drift or sensitivity drift. Now in case of a span drift, the calibration form 0 upwards. If the calibration form 0 upwards change proportionally, then it is called span drift. Okay, so basically it actually occurs in the change in spring gradient. So where the calibration form 0 upwards change proportionally, then span drifts occur. Hence this time for this type of span drift, higher calibration gets shifted more than of the lower calibration. Okay, then there is the zonal drift. Now this, in case of zonal drift, basically this type of drift occurs only over a portion of span of an instrument. Okay, it is actually called zonal drift. It is in industrial instrument, this type of drift is an undesirable quantity since it is rarely apparent and cannot be easily compensated. Now one most important part, you must understand that this type of drift occurs very slowly, and this can be checked only by periodic inspection and maintenance. So it is a very important part in case of a digital measurement. So this type of drift can occur any kind of bad result, okay, or wrong output. So you must take care of the drift when you are going to inspect or maintenance any kind of digital measuring instrument. The next thing is the resolution. So in case of resolution, if you say this resolution is nothing but the minimum change in input quantity measured by an instrument. Okay, so the least count of an instrument is taken as the resolution of the instrument. Basically, the resolution is nothing but the when the input is slowly increased from some arbitrary input value, it is observed that the output does not change at all until a certain increment is exceeded. Now, this increment is actually known as discrimination, or what we have already said, it is one type of resolution. Now, this type of resolution defines the smallest change of input of which there will be a change of output. In case of analog instrument, the resolution is determined by the observer ability to judge the position of a pointer on a scale. And in case of digital, the resolution is determined by the number of neon tubes taken to show the measured value. Then there comes the threshold. Threshold is almost same like resolution, but it is the minimum input measured by an instrument. Okay, now this threshold is also known as the smallest measurable input. Now, in case of difference, if you say threshold is the smallest measurable input, while resolution defines the smallest measurable input change. One is the change, another is the input. Threshold and resolution can be expressed as an actual value or as a fraction or percentage of full scale value. Now, if I give an example, suppose let's take as a meter whose panel readings are 0.25, 0.5, 0.75, 1, 1.25, like this one. Okay, so for this, the threshold is the minimum input measured by an instrument, that is 0.25. Sorry. So suppose, forget about 0.25 the minimum reading. Suppose the panel readings becoming 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this way. Okay, so for this threshold, which is the minimum input, that is 1, and since it is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, increment is 1, then the minimum change in input quality is also 1. Suppose the reading becomes 0.5, 0.75, what I have said earlier, 1, 1.25, like this way. So here the minimum input value is 0.5, so threshold is 0.5, but the change in input quantity, that is 0.25. See, 0.5 is the minimum, 0.75 is the next, then 1, then 1.25, like this way. So change is 0.25 input change, and this is the resolution. So this is the basic difference between resolution and threshold. So basically threshold is the change, threshold is the minimum input value and resolution is the input change. Okay, the next one is the hysteresis. Now, hysteresis is the maximum differences in output at any measured value within the specific range when approaching the point, first with increasing and then with the decreasing input, that can be termed as hysteresis. Now, this is a phenomena which shows the different output effects when loading and unloading is happening. This is a non-coincidence of loading and unloading curve. Now, if you see the curve over here, then you will find that output and input curve is loading, that means loading and unloading curve is given, like decreasing and increasing pressure. Now, for an instrument which has no friction due to the sliding parts, the non-coincidence of loading and unloading curves in on an account of internal frictions or hysteresis damping occurs. Now, the numerical value of hysteresis that can be specified in terms of either output or input, and it is usually given as percentage of full scale. This type of hysteresis result from the presence of irreversible phenomena like mechanical friction, slack motion in bearing, and magnetic and thermal effects. Now, the next thing, the most important thing, that is the dynamic characteristics of a dynamic characteristics of main kind of digital measuring instrument. So basically, this dynamic characteristics is actually refers to the performance of the instrument when the input variable is changing rapidly with time. Like if you say an example that human eye cannot detect any event whose duration is more than 1/10 of a second, Thus, the dynamic performance of a human eye cannot be said to be very satisfactory. Now, this dynamic performance of an instrument is normally expressed by a differential equation which is given at the below. Okay, so basically, if you see the differential equation, it is always convenient to express the input-output dynamic characteristics in form of a linear differential equation. So, in this equation, xi and xo are the input and output variables respectively, and you can find out the next equation in form of gs, why the small m is less than of n, where the n is called the order of the system, commonly available sensor characteristics that can be used to approximate either zeroth order or first order or second order of dynamics. Okay, so you can use this type of dynamic characteristics in different type of instrument like potentiometer, then seismic sensor, step response performance. So there are different type of measuring element where you can use this type of dynamic dynamic measurement. Okay, dynamic characteristics. Now basically this dynamic characteristics, there is a set of criteria which defined by this type of dynamic characteristics, and these are: one is speed of response, another is measuring lag, then fidelity, then dynamic error. Okay, so in case of speed of response, it is actually defined by the rapidity with which the measurement system responds to the change in measurement quantity. Then there is the measuring lag, which is actually the retardation or delay in the response of measurement system to change in the measurement quality. Basically, there are two type of lag occur. One is the retardation lag, where the response of the measurement system begins immediately after the change in measurement quantity has occurred, and then there is the time delay lag, where the response measurement system begins after a dead time over the application of input. Then there is the fidelity. Fidelity, which is actually defined as the degree to which a measurement system indicates a change in measurement quantity without dynamic error. And dynamic error is nothing but the difference between the true value of the quantity changing with time and the value indicated by the measurement system if no static error is assumed. It is also called measurement error. So this is the basic thing what you must know about the digital measuring instrument. So if I draw a summary on what I have said earlier, so basically in case of a digital instrument, which is very much apart from the analog instrument due to high accuracy and high precisional purpose, it is actually represents the value in form of a digital number in a digital display. Now this type of digital instrument actually made by three basic unit, that is transducer, signal modifier and display device, which is very important. Then we can we have already know that there are different terminologies which is very much associated with this digital measurement. So one is the drift, which is actually the slow change in response of a gauge and which is not desirable for the decrement, which is not desirable actually because the decrement of output is not desired all the time. Then there is the resolution, threshold and resolution. In case of threshold and resolution, one thing you must understand that the threshold is the minimum input and resolution is the minimum input change. So this is the basic difference between threshold and resolution, and there is the hysteresis, which is the difference between two separate measurements taken at the same point. Then there are different dynamic characteristics. What I have said, the last thing, that is these criteria are the speed of response, measuring lag. In case of measuring lag, there is retardation type of lag and time delay lag, and there is the fidelity and dynamic error. So this, based on all of these things, this is the basic thing on the digital measurement. Next, from next video, you will see what are the different type of digital measuring instruments are available, and what are the detailed discussion we'll do the detailed discussion on this different type of digital measuring instrument. So thank you for watching this video. If you have any kind of question, you can comment under this video. If you find anything problematic, you can also mail me. Please like my video, share if you can, and please subscribe my channel. Thank you.